From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version. This 270th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Habakkuk, Zephaniah. Habakkuk chapter 1, verses 1 to 19. The oracle that Habakkuk the prophet saw. O Lord, how long shall I cry for help, and thou wilt not hear? I cry to thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Why dost thou stand afar off, O Lord? Why dost thou hide thyself in times of trouble? The violence of the wicked is great, they stir up strife, they break the law. Behold, O nations, and look, be astonished and perish, for I am doing a work in your days, a work which you will not believe, though one tells you. For lo, I am raising up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, who march through the breadth of the earth, to seize dwellings not their own. Dreaded and fearsome are they, their justice and dignity proceed from themselves. Their horses are swifter than leopards, more fierce than the evening wolves, their horsemen press proudly on. Their horsemen come from afar, they fly like an eagle swift to devour, they all come for violence. Their faces are set like the east wind, they gather captives like sand. At kings they scoff, and rulers are derided by them, they laugh at every fortress, for they heap up earth and take it. Then they pass on like the wind and go on, guilty men, whose guilt is their own might. O Lord, art thou not from everlasting? My Holy One, thou art a rock of stumbling to me, a fortress in trouble. Thou art of purer eyes than to see evil, and canst not look on wrong. Why dost thou look on them that deal treacherously, and hold thy tongue when the wicked swallow up men more righteous than they? And makest men like the fish of the sea, like the creeping things that have no ruler. He brings all of them up with a dragnet, he gathers them in his net, he collects them in his drag, so he rejoices and is glad. Therefore he sacrifices to his net and burns incense to his drag, for by them his portion is rich, and his food is plentiful. Shall he therefore keep on emptying his net, and mercilessly slaying nations forever? Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to save them on the day of the Lord's wrath, and in the fire of his jealousy the whole earth will be consumed. For a terrible end will he make of all who dwell on the earth. The whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For him, Yahweh will make a speed end of all who dwell in the earth. Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 1 to 20. I will take my stand at my watchpost, and station myself on the rampart. I will keep watch to see what he will say to me, and what I will reply concerning my complaint. And the Lord answered me, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, so he may run who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, it speaks of the end and will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it, it will surely come, it will not fail. Behold, his soul is puffed up. It is not upright within him, but the righteous shall live by his faith. Moreover, wine is a traitor, overbearing and crafty like the morning star, it loses its sharpness. Shall not all these nations take up their taunt against him with bitter mockery? And they will say, woe to him who builds up with blood and founds a city on iniquity. Behold, shall not these nations deride him? Shall they not say to him, woe to him who showers upon his friends and gathers from the rivers and brings home his spoil? Because you have shed bloody spoil, blood has been shed upon you, and you have been polluted by the blood of those whom you have slain. Yet everyone builds a city with blood-stained stones. Woe to him who builds his palace by unrighteousness, and his upper chambers by injustice, who makes his neighbors work for nothing, and does not pay them their wages. Woe to him who plans evil while he reclines, who does it with ease, who executes it without fail. Shall not a cup turn, a tilted cup collapse? For the stone will cry out from the wall, and the beam from the woodwork respond. Woe to him who builds a town with blood and kills a multitude in it. Look, is it not from the Lord of hosts that peoples labor for fire, and nations weary themselves for nothing? Behold, morning comes to an end, and night shall be turned over. Behold, here come the dreamers, and those who make her crown princes shall be drunk. Woe to him who makes his neighbors drunk, and puts them to sleep so as to be drunk. You are sated with shame instead of glory. Drink, you yourself, and stagger. The cup in the Lord's right hand will come around to you, and shame will come upon your glory. For the violence done to Lebanon will cover you, and the destruction of beasts will terrorize them. What profit is an idol when its maker has shaped it, a metal image, a teacher of lies? For its maker trusts in what he has made when his own gods are mute. Woe to him who says to a wooden thing, awake, to a dumb stone, arise, can this give guidance? Behold, it is overlaid with gold and silver, and not breath is in it at all. But the Lord is in his holy temple, let all the earth be silent before him. Habakkuk chapter 3, verses 1 to 20. A prayer of Habakkuk the prophet, according to Shigionoth. O Lord, I have heard of your name. I am afraid, O Lord, of your work. In the midst of the years revive it, in the midst of the years make it known, in wrath remember mercy. God came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran. His glory covered the heavens, and his praise filled the earth. His brightness was like the sun, Rays glowed from his hand, and there his power was hid. Before him went pestilence, and plague followed at his heels. He stood and shook the earth. He looked and made the nations tremble. The eternal mountains were broken, the everlasting hills sank low, his ways are eternal. I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, the pavilions of Midian trembled. Was thy wrath against the rivers, O Lord? Was thy anger against the rivers, or thy indignation against the sea, when thou didst ride upon thy horses, thy chariots of salvation? Thou didst strip thy bow of its sheath, and thy word was for thy salvation. Thou didst cleave the earth in rivers. The mountains saw thee, and they trembled. A torrent of waters swept by, the deep gave forth its voice. It lifted its hands on high. The sun and moon stood still in their place, at the light of thy arrows speeding by, at the radiance of thy glittering spear. Thou didst march through the earth in fury, thou didst trample the nations in anger. Thou didst go forth for the salvation of thy people, for the salvation of thy anointed. Thou didst crush the head of the wicked one, laying him bare from thigh to neck. Thou didst pierce with his own arrows the heads of his warriors, who stormed in to scatter us, who were secretly devouring all who were righteous in the land. Thou didst tread upon the sea with thy horses, upon the churning of the deep waters. When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the sound. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of distress when the enemy comes up to beset the people. Though the fig tree does not bud, and there are no grapes on the vines, and the olive fails to produce food, and the fields produce no food, and there are no sheep in the fold, and no goats in the sty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord, I will joy in the God of my salvation. The Lord God is my strength, he makes my feet like the hinds, and makes me tread upon my high places. For the crown is upon Jerusalem, the Lord.